Welcome back to yet another historic Brawl deck, where today our commander is Vito, Fanatic of Alcazotz, and it's a very fun commander because it's around a bunch of sacrificing, and it's really fun. It's a brand new commander, so we can gain life, make our opponent lose 2 life, and we can also create a huge demon whenever we sack. If we sack 3 times a turn, we can get basically the demon, and then every other ability comes as we sacrifice stuff, so it's going to be really an aristocratic kind of sacrifice deck. I mean, there's sack outlets everywhere with like Corrupted Conviction, and there's a bunch of removal with like Swords to Plowshares, and we also have some other fun cards like Shieldred Whispering one. I mean, this card's fantastic. We can get all of our stuff back, have our opponent basically board wipe, and we can start taking their stuff from their graveyards. We also have cards like Grave Pack, which is a slow board wipe whenever we sack or whenever our creature dies. They have to sack one as well, so it's really fun with that. And also Ophiomancer, we create snakes every upkeep, so if we have a sack outlet with Vito, because Vito triggers every turn, we can make a lot of life, we can make a lot of 4/3 demons, or we can make them lose a bunch of life. So that's basically the entirety of the deck, so let's just jump right into the games. Our hand is looking pretty good. We have a nice curve here with some nice land. Let's see, we're going against Gyruda. Okay, so just to get creatures out there, it's probably going to be a blink deck, which is most likely what's going to happen. We're waiting on him to mulligan. But let's see what we end up playing against. Let's see if I'm going to call it right, because I mean, most Gyruda decks are going to be blink because that's what they like to do, and they like to get a bunch of creatures out there. Fabled Passage. Okay, we're going to do, I guess we'll do another swamp here, and let's see if he's going to sack Fabled Passage, which he probably will. He does. He's probably going to, well, he's going to grab a swamp or an island. Let's see which one he's going to grab here. Probably an island, so we can get counter spells ready. Maybe a swamp if he wants some extra kill stuff, but there's the island. Let's see what he plays on his turn now. It's not a whole lot of 2-drops you'll have in this deck. It's just working your way up to Gyruda and getting rid of everything else that comes in your way. So he has 1 mana open, so you can counter stuff, but nothing we can't handle. We're going to play the braids here. No counter, that's good. We're not going to sack anything, I don't think. I mean, we could sack the land, but we don't really need that. Let's see if he plays anything on turn 3. Just all blue so far, which, I mean, is good for us, but not super good for him. Swamp, we're going to try Vito. He probably has the counter. Let's see it. Because, I mean, he's running blue in a kind of control-esque deck. There's the counter. He gets a Surveil one, too. So that's pretty good, I guess. Here, we're going to put the Vito back. Swing in for 3. And then we're going to pass the turn right back to him, because we'll have enough mana in a couple of turns to play our commander again, so there's no need to sack land. Gets the swamp, so that's good at least. Let's see if he plays anything on turn 4 for him. Probably not. He's looking at our land. Hopefully he doesn't have something that can destroy it, or destroy permanent. Probably not. Okay, there goes the braids. That's fine. That's a good kill anyways, because braids is really annoying. We're going to play the Brightkind Pathway on the plus side, and I guess we'll also do the Pitiless Plunder. No counterspell also is good. He probably has another kill spell, so he can just get rid of it again if he needs to, but Pitiless Plunder is also a really nice card to have out there. He's looking at it, so he probably will kill it. It's 1 turn away from his commander, which is going to be a little scary. But let's see what he ends up doing with our Pitiless Plunderer, or if he does anything to it at all. He does not. Okay. Ghost Quarters, nice. I think he's waiting for us to play our commander again. We're going to play the Mirkwood Bats. And let's see what he does to it. Probably nothing. And then we're also going to do the Cruel Celebrant if nothing happens to the bats. Okay, so the Pitiless Plunderer is going to die. We're going to do the Fanatical Offering so we can get some advantage off of the Plunderer dying. Let's see if he counters the Fanatical Offering too. Probably will, knowing these kind of decks. Anything? Any response? Yep, there it is. Okay, we do get a created 2/2 bird. Mirkwood Bats, just a little bit late. If the stack was a little different, we could have got a Mirkwood Bats and the 2/2, which would have been fun. Wait, no, we probably wouldn't have, because it would have entered at the same time, so it didn't matter either way. But let's see what he ends up doing. We have 4 total out there with flying, which is a little worrying for him, but we're just wasting his kill spells, which is really nice for us, because we don't really want him to have anything. Meat Hook Massacre, okay, gets rid of everything, so that's good. We can play our Gyruda for free. Ooh, Elesh Norn's also pretty nice. We're going to do the Godless Shrine tapped. We're going to do the Elesh Norn, and then we also could do Ghost Quarter, but it won't do much actually. We'll just end the turn there. In case he gets something kind of ridiculous, we can get it. Okay, Undercover Operative. Okay, so he gets an Elvish Norn of his own, which is really annoying. So there's not going to be a bunch of damage dealt to anything. Our turn. Woe Strider isn't bad. We're going to do the Fanatic Vito. See if he does anything to it. He does have a open blue, so he could potentially counterspell. He's looking at our Elvish Norn, so he might have a bounce for it. Nothing. We can't swing in because it won't do anything, even though it does have vigilance. The main reason why we have Elvish Norn in here is for the kind of static ability that it has whenever they deal damage to us. It basically allows us to stall to where we can get our commander and get our play set up. But when he has one of his own, it gets a little annoying. Nothing happens on his turn again. Okay. We do have the removal with swords, so that's going to be nice for later. We're going to play the Cruel Celebrant here. Let's see if he does anything to it, because he does have 5 open mana. Nothing. Woe Strider, anything? Probably not. Woe Strider is a sack outlet though, so that might be a little worrying for him. But I don't think he does have anything for it. He does not. Create a 0/1 goat. We do have the Elvish Norn next turn if we need it, because we do have enough creatures to sack without being too worried about it. We're not going to swing in because we want the Swords of Plowshares in case he gets something ridiculous out there. Like a Hullbreaker Horror or something like that. Gyruda comes out. Okay. So we are going to respond by Swords of Plowsharing that thing because that is really scary. And we don't really want him to blink it. We want it dead. He says nice. We're going to say thanks back. Let's see if he does anything else to it. Gets the mill stuff. Get an Ophiomancer. Didn't even use the Ophiomancer. Wow. Gets a Solemn instead of that. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, Ophiomancer's an odd. That makes sense. Never mind. Okay, anything with Elvish Norn or any of that? Probably not. Elvish Norn's just broken. Especially when we're going against it. Our own Elvish Norn, technically. Let's see if he plays anything or swings in. Probably won't, because he doesn't want to deal us damage. Get a Jadar. Nice. We're going to play the Jadar here. Going to go Elvish Norn here. We're going to do the Woe Strider, the Goat, and the Cruel Celebrant. That's fine. It's quite a few pings and some Vito triggers, which is nice. And we get the Elvish Norn stuff going on, which is always fun. You incubate a lot. 5 of them. That's really nice. Gonna go to combat. We're not... Actually, yeah, we'll swing in. We can afford to pay it. Takes 4 damage. Elvish Norn will trigger. There we go. We're gonna pay the 1. Tap it for 1. Resolve. Pay the 1. There we go. Created 2/2 Decayed, which will be a nice sack outlet when we get the Woe Strider back out there. We also can boost all of our stuff next turn because it'll all gain double strike, which is going to be really annoying unless he pops our Argent Etchings. Well, let's see what he ends up doing. Probably not much. Put him in a good situation, getting rid of his commander the last turn. Wants to kill our Vito or Jadar because that's our token generators and doesn't want anything else dying. Because if it does, there's going to be a lot of chaos happening. Nothing. Okay, so we have an Ashnod's Altar. That's not bad, but it's also not great. We have a bunch of cards in our graveyard so we can get the sack outlet with Woe Strider. Get a couple counters. Oh, and he scoops. That was a fantastic Game 1. Game 2, our hand is looking actually pretty good. We have some nice mana curve as well as some pretty decent advantage. The Black Market Connections is also really nice for some extra just advantage. By taking 6 life, we can get quite a bit of stuff out there. However, 6 life is also quite a bit of life, so we might not take that. I could have played Godless Shrine to grab the Voldaren Bloodcaster, but I think we'll be okay. Going against Giada, so that's always such a fun deck to play against. Since we didn't do it last turn, we'll just make it enter tapped, and yeah, that's about it. So next turn, we should be able to get it. Well, not our commander. If we draw another land, we'll be able to. Oh my gosh, I'm making so many misplays. I could have got the Black Market Connections out there if I would have took 2 damage. Could have got some stuff potentially. Okay, so that's fine. We can play the... We'll play the Voldaren Bloodcaster to prevent him from attacking anymore unless he has like a counter spell, which he does not. The only one would be like Mana Tithe or something like that, and even then, we would have an open mana for it. Evolving Wilds, we're going to grab the black land, so the swamp, and then we're going to pass the turn from there because, well, we don't have anything else to play that will do us any advantage. Let's see... Griffin Airy, okay, so that's a little worrisome. He probably won't swing in, which he does not. We do draw the Swords to Plowshares, which is nice. And let's see if he does have a counter spell for it. Mana Tithe would be funny. Reprieve, okay, we're going to put it back into our hand because, well, it's just going to be cheaper in our hand. We're not going to play the Mox Amber. I was thinking about it because, well, our Vito was going to be out there. We're just going to sort our hand out just a little bit so we can kind of see things a little bit better. And that looks a little more nice. Boonbringer Valkyrie. Okay, so he gets to basically create a copy, or makes his other thing bigger. We're not going to block it. So that is going to be gone next turn, is what I'm trying to say. Swords of Plowshares, that sucker. It's dead, exiled, gone. Perfect. We're going to do Vito now. So now we have a 4/4 against his 3/3 flyers. We're going to play our Mox Amber. So in case he has something that can kill it, we can Corrupted Conviction to potentially get some advantage. And now it's his turn. Let's see what he's going to do. Got rid of his big monster, but knowing these, they always get stuff. Okay, Mural. So now it doesn't matter that much because, well, the Corrupted Conviction won't do anything with the Mural out there. We're going to play the Smothering Tithe to potentially get some extra advantage off of that, and the Wayfarer's Bauble. Almost said Mishra's Bauble, but that's the wrong one. We'll keep the Corrupted Conviction for later, and we're going to pass the turn with that. Smothering Tithe. Draws a card. Let's see if he pays 2. He does. So he doesn't have any big drop angels in his hand. Well, 5 or less because of the Gyata. Okay, so he plays a Core Celebrant. That's fine. It's just like a Soul Warden one-sided. Basically an Impassioned Orator. Scavenger Grounds, which is nice. We're going to do the, I guess, Black Market Connections so we can start getting some advantage. And we don't really need the Ashnod's Altar. We're going to Wayfarer's Bauble here to get a Vito trigger. Just to gain some life, because we're down a little bit, and we're going to grab another swamp here. And next, I think that's all that we are going to do, because we don't have many other plays. Smothering Tithe, let's see if he pays another 2, because if he does, he doesn't have anything. Okay, so he does have a potential 7-drop angel, or 6-drop creature, because, well, he has plenty of mana, especially with Gyata, but let's see if he does anything with it. Tale of Tinuvel. Okay. So what is he going to give Indestructible? Mural. That makes sense. And he swings in. We're going to block with Vito because it's not going to do anything. So he gets to just keep it out there. We can't kill it. Going to do Black Market Connections for all. Deadly Dispute. Not bad, but not great. We can pop his Gyata to potentially get rid of it. Or we can kill the Tale of Tinuvel. But it won't do much either way. Gyata is looking like a nice target, so it can potentially get rid of some stuff and hopefully not boost his angel. So we'll get rid of the Gyata, which is what we needed. And then we'll also Deadly Dispute or Corrupted Conviction. We'll Deadly Dispute the new creature that we just created. So I'll sack that. Actually, we need to use our mana wisely. So do black. I'm going to do another black. And then basically pay for it. Draw a couple more cards. Hopefully dig for something nice. So we create the 4/3, which is good. We draw a Ghoul Collar Gisa and a Rabble Rousing. We'll play the Rabble Rousing here because that card's great. Hideaway 5. Ooh, Shieldred, because it's Shieldred. And we also have the Corrupted Conviction for later because we don't really want to play it right now. And we're going to pass the turn there. Let's see if he does anything from that. Smothering Tithe triggers. Gets me potentially another treasure. He does, so he does have quite a bit in his hand. 7 mana total. No Gyata though, which is nice for us. Deals with all the angels garbage, really. But let's see if he plays any big angel. Because we don't really want to have to deal with something that has a lot of like effects. So like lifelink, first strike, double strike, anything like that. Or an Avacyn. An Avacyn would be crazy. Farewell. Okay. So there goes all of our enchantments and artifacts and graveyards, which is fine. So I'm glad that we kept the Goo Collar Gisa. Well, the Goo Collar Gisa would have done anything. The Rabble Rousing going away is kind of sad. But that's everything that we had, really. Okay, played the Goo Collar Gisa. And then we also have the Corrupted Conviction, which will be nice later. We don't really need it now. And we'll swing in with the Vito. Potentially get some damage in from that. Will he block with the Griffin? He does. So he's still staying at 34 life. One less flyer though. So next turn he's probably going to play an Angels to where he can block our stuff if we start swinging in, because 8 every turn is quite a bit. Okay. So that's annoying as heck. We can exile graveyards if we need with Scavenger Grounds, but that's not very useful right now. Pass to end, Chimley does its thing. Gets 2. And then gets Soul Warden. That's interesting. He plays it for free. Core Celebrant triggers, so now he has 2 things, which is nice. Bulls of Citadel's coming out. Grave Pack, that's amazing. Plains, Skrell's Hive, we're gonna play. Lotho, we're gonna play. Shambling Gask. I guess we'll keep. And then let's see. We're gonna sack the Vampire Demon. So we'll get a lot of triggers, Grave Pack and Vito. And create a bunch of 2/2s. He will gain some life though. Yep, he'll gain total 4, which is quite a bit considering it, but that's okay. We're not gonna bolus the Citadel Ultimate yet. Will we swing in? Yeah, we'll swing in with both for a total of 6, because there's very few haste angels or haste white creatures that have flying. Okay, so we're in a good position now. Mondrak. Oh, well that would have been great for us if we had that. Let's see what he ends up playing. He just wants the extra life gain from the Soul Warden and stuff. Swiftfoot Boots, that's fine. Second spell, we take a life, but we also create a treasure so we can gain that life back, which is what I'm going to do during our end step so I can get a Vito trigger, because we don't really need the treasure token out there. Okay, so he swings in with the 3/4 Mural, that's fine. Creates 2 1/1s. Core Celebrant and the Soul Warden, we're going to block it. And we're actually going to kill it here. And then, let's see, from that, we'll get the 2 Grave Pack triggers. So he has to sack 2. Well, only 1. We're going to end step. We're going to do actually Corrupted Conviction, using that as a black mana on our 2/1 that we have here. So we can get some extra triggers, make him sack another token. So he's going to sack the other soldier, I'm assuming. Yep, he does. Draw a couple of cards, get some extra advantage, which is nice. We have a swamp on the top, so we'll draw the swamp next turn. Lulu, Forgetful Hollyphant. Okay. Skrell's Hive triggers, we're going to take a damage. That's fine. Gets to gain a life from it. Draw the swamp. We have a Mondrak, so we're going to play that because that doubles our tokens. Ooh, that's also really nice. We could do that to get some extra advantage, but I think we'll wait on it because we're down quite a bit. Okay, because we can draw. Okay, we can sack everything to get rid of a bunch, but he's going to gain a bunch of life, and we don't really want that. We have the sack out with Goo Collar, so we can do that at least. We'll sack the zombie that we created, create a couple more zombies, make him pay a little bit. Actually, we can make him just get rid of all of his creatures after we play Ashnod's Altar. So he'll gain a bunch of life, which is fine, but having no creatures is what we need. Play Ashnod's Altar, we'll take a damage from Lotho, but create double treasures, and we'll sack that. Yeah, we'll sack the zombie. Vito triggers again, deals him 2 damage. He has to sack another one. Yeah, we'll just slow board wipe with Grave Pack, because we have plenty of creatures out there. And then we'll Ashnod's Altar again on our Phyrexian Might. Do another trigger, and he scoops. So that was an excellent game 2. Game 3, your hand is looking pretty good, so we're going to keep it here. We're going against Kumena. Okay. Oh, it's Merfolk. That's fantastic. I love Merfolk. They're so fun. That's alright. Waiting on him to decide what he's going to do in his turn. Merfolk take forever. We have a nice curve here. We can get a potential token generator out there unless he counters it, because Merfolk have every responses. Cruel Celebrant's also nice. We have a nice like destruction with the Stroke of Midnight, and we have a sack outlet too with Woe Strider, so that's pretty good. Next turn we're probably gonna do okay, so that boosts himself. We'll do the Dread Horde Invasion into probably the Cruel Celebrant, and then lastly into Vito, so we can have just something out there. Colossal Majesty, that's fine. Boost the Deep Root Champion, take 2 damage. Create the 1/1. We are gonna play. We have the Elastil Core, which isn't bad. Yeah, we'll play the Cruel Celebrant and pass back to him. Let's see if he will swing in with the Deep Root Champion again. Probably. Or if he boosts it again. Let's see if he plays the Kumena as well. Sylvan Smite. Okay, so he pops it. Cruel Celebrant dies. It's a trigger. Deep Root Champion. We don't really want to take 3. So we're going to block it. Maybe we'll just create it again. We're going to Stroke of Midnight the Deep Root Champion, because that's really annoying. Get rid of that. Play the Witch's Oven as well. And then pass back to him. So let's hope that he doesn't have anything too scary. Kumena is going to come out there. That's also okay. He has no Merfolk. Well, now he does. So you can play that. What does this transform into? Something not very fun, it looks like. Nope. Okay, so next turn we're going to play the Vito to have a flyer. And yeah, okay, so he's going to get the 1/1 going through. That's fine, I'll take the 1 damage. I like to have a 2/2 anyways. And then it's our turn. Okay, so we're going to lose a life, get another one, or boost it really. Vito is going to make it's going to be 4/4 flyer. He has no responses, it looks like, other than the Kumena. Go to combat, have nothing, and then we're just going to pass the turn. Let's see if he's going to like untap or tap something, because there's no point in doing that. Okay, so this turn, if he swings in with Kumena, we block with the Dread Horde, sack it for the Witch's Oven, get a Vito trigger, block the Skyclave if he throws it in at us, which he probably will. Let's see what he ends up doing. Okay, so he swings with the Kumena. Okay, so we're going to block the Kumena with the 2/2. In response, we're going to sack. Oh, well, it's already declared blockers, so that doesn't matter. If you did it earlier, it would have. But it's still being blocked. And it did nothing. Okay, so it's our turn now. We are going to play the Teysa Karlov into the Shambling Gas, so we can get double triggers off of that. And we could probably just kill it now if we needed, but it serves as a pretty good blocker. We'll swing in for 4 in the air. He goes down to 20. We're at 21. And we'll pass the turn with that. Primal Empathy triggers. That's fine. But he doesn't... He puts a +1/+1 counter on something because he doesn't have the strongest creature. We do with Vito. Garruk's Uprising. Okay, so everything has trample. Bunch of draw potential, but nothing out there that can get him cards. Except like that, Kumena, but he doesn't have enough Merfolk to do that. Swings in with a 3/5. Okay. And that's alright. Past the blockers, there is no blocks. We're going to take 3, which isn't ideal. We're going to Witch's Oven the Shambling Gas to get double triggers. So we get double Vito, or we only get 1 Vito trigger. And let's see what he has out there. So yeah, we can get rid of some of his stuff. We'll get rid of the Skyclave Aerialist, create a treasure as well, because the 1/1's not doing much for him either way. Gain a couple of life. And I think we're going to do that. We're going to do that for black. Doesn't matter much. We just want to get the demon out there. And we can't pay that, so that's fine. We just wanted to deal damage either way, so it's alright. We'll play the Swamp into the Elastil Core. We're going to sack the food to gain a couple of life. Get a Vito triggered, gain some more life. So gain pretty much a total of 5. which isn't bad. And we will swing in with the 4-4 and the 2-2. Because the 2-2 has vigilance, which is nice, so it can serve as a blocker for later. And that's the only one he can block because the Vito's in the air. So let's see if he has a response. He does. He blocks it, which is fine. Go into damage. We gain a couple of life off of it. Get rid of his 1-1, and he goes down to 14, which is also really nice. Primal Empathy, so he boosts the Kumena again, which is getting a little scary. But nothing we can't handle, because we can gain all of it back. We're 1 life from what we started with, which is pretty good for taking quite a bit of damage a few turns ago. But he doesn't seem to have much. I think he wasted all of his cards and we had the responses to every single one of them, which is really nice. The Stroke of Midnight was also a really nice play. Get rid of that basically self-booster with the amount of non-creature spells. Ooh! So we're going to be taking 9 this turn, at least. But we can block it. Oh, and he doesn't even attack because we have the Death Touch, which is perfect. We're going to play the Woe Strider here. And then get a couple triggers off of that. Elastic Core will trigger a couple of times. We can scry. I think we're going to do the scry. We're going to sack the goat to get the scry off of that. Get a lot of triggers off of that as well. Double the Elastic Core. Vampiric Rites. It's a straw outlet, so I think we'll keep it on top. We don't have any other things we can draw with, so that's okay. We'll swing in with 4 in the air. Go to damage, goes down to 8. So he only has 2 turns left at least, unless he kills our Vito. And next turn, I think if he doesn't have any other creatures, I think we can swing in for a lot. So he draws a bunch of cards because of all of his Colossal Majesty, Primal Empathy, and, well, the Grook's Uprising doesn't do much because that only triggers off of entering. He's probably going to play his Elusive Otter. River's Rebuke. Not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Okay, we're going to Witch's Oven the zombie army because it won't do much because it will fizzle when it bounces to our hand. And do we do anything else out here? Yeah, we sacrifice both of the foods. Actually, we only sack one of them because it's just going to make the demon. So I'm going to let that happen. We're going to put everything to our hand, which is fine. So that's a bit of a reset. He's swinging with a 9-11, which is a lot. Okay, and we drew the Vampiric Rites because we knew what it was. So we're going to play the Vito again. We're also going to play the Elastic Core. And we're also going to play the Vampiric Rites. And then we're going to pass to him. So I probably should have done the other food that we had out there. So he draws 4 every upkeep, which is crazy. But let's see if he has like another River's Rebuke or something like that. Because there's not many of those. But he's drawing 4 per turn. Path of Discovery, that's pretty nice. Gets to boost the Otter. Merfolk Skydiver, that's fine. Boost the Otter again, it can't be blocked. Path of Discovery goes through again. Explores, so he gets to potentially put it in his hand. Or it just scries, really. Reveals it, so we know what it is. Is he going to swing in with the Kumena? He does. But nothing else. Okay. We're just going to block that with the Elastic Core. So the Kumena will die, which is what we needed. He says good game. I guess I'll say good game back. He does have a flyer, so he'll be around another turn. Okay, Zulpor, and he scoops. So that was a really good game 3. I think we just had a response to everything we have. Or he had. On to game 4. Game 4. Our hand is looking a little shaky, but I'm going to keep it because of the Dark Ritual and the Lotho. It basically can just redo everything that we need. We're not going to play the Dark Ritual. We'll play that next turn to go into our Vito. And let's hope for some extra lands for later because, I mean, we don't have much. So turn 2 Commander isn't bad, to say the least. It's also really nice. Okay, Bartolome is not bad either. We're going to do Dark Ritual, gain 3, and then play our Vito. So now we have our Vito out there, so that's really good. But he probably will have something to bounce it, which is really funny because he's playing Coma, which really doesn't want anything out there until Coma comes out there. So, oh, no response. And we drew a land, which is nice. I think we're going to play it on the black side because we have a lot of those. And then we're going to do the Lotho here. Let's see if he has a counter spell to it potentially. Probably because Lotho's kind of cracked. Nothing. Huh. A bounce during the damage potentially for Vito? Nothing either. Okay, so it goes down to 21. Destroy tapped creature or something like that. Oh, growth spiral. That's fine. Put a land out there. Gets to ramp a little bit. Command tower isn't bad for him either. Plays a... okay, island. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. Okay, so that was pretty good for him. We will do the Bartolome, or Bartolome, however you pronounce it. And then we'll swing him with 4 in the air. Any bounce or any other kind of thing? Nothing? Okay. And then we're going to pass a turn after that. So we're going to hope that he casts a couple of spells so we can get a Lotho, plays a land, a bounce or something like that, or a boost for Gwenna, or just anything, because we don't really want Coma to go off. And when it does, it's going to be annoying. So I think if he gets... ooh. Vorinclex. Okay. So that's an issue. As soon as Coma comes out there, we're going to save the Stroke of Midnight for it, so it won't have the chance to get its indestructible ability going on out there, because next turn that's almost entirely what he's going to play. Because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, he has 7 mana, so he can do that, definitely. Vorinclex is a little scary with the trample, but it's nothing we can't handle. Okay, so we're going to go to our turn. We get a Plains, which isn't bad. So we'll have the Corrupted Conviction as well if we need it, which we probably won't. We're not going to swing because the Vorinclex is a reach. It's just huge. It's scary. It is not fun. The Great Henge. Oh, well, that's nice as well. And let's see what else he plays. Thorn Mammoth. Okay, so it's just a super fight deck, it looks like. And he'll be able to fight one of our creatures, but will Corrupted Conviction before he has a chance to say anything. Vito. He Corrupted Convictions Vito. Okay, we're going to Thorn Mammoth Vito. We're Corrupted Convictioning it because it'll give us triggers, which is fine. We also probably could have done Bartolome, but we get more cards off of this. Okay, so it's 7/7 with Trample, which is not good. Not good at all. Next turn we can do the Eldest Reborn. He's going to swing with the 6/6 almost definitely, and the 4/5. Okay, so we can take 10, or we can get rid of the Bartolome, which I think is what we're going to do, and we're only going to take 6. Which is a lot better than 10. Okay, it's our turn. Meathook Massacre, but just a little late. We'll play it. Do we have enough to play for 4? Nothing will get killed by it. Eldest Reborn's going to come out here. So he has to sack a creature or a planeswalker, which is pretty good. Thorn Mammoth. Ooh, okay. And we'll swing in for 2. Why not? Because we're going to be taking a lot next turn anyways. So we're on a 2-turn clock, basically. And if he plays Coma, we're pretty much screwed because we have no mana. Let's see what he ends up playing. Coma? Yep, there's the Coma. Perfect. So that's wonderful. Bunch of ramp, bunch of fun stuff. This would be a fun deck to build, but we don't have much of a response, and he's just kind of had the advantage the entire game. Oh well, we lose some as well, so it doesn't matter as much, and hopefully Game 5 will be a lot better. Guardian Project, okay, Lotho triggers, we lose another life, but we get another treasure. Elysian Caryatid comes out on his side. It won't matter much. We need a 7 on our Meathook Massacre. So he boosts that. We could Stroke of Midnight it, which, actually that's a pretty good play. Stroke of Midnight Coma before it has a response, or a 3/3. He'll still create the 3/3, but we're at a better position per se, so we'll let that happen. A Jadar, which isn't bad, but it's just a little late. What does he have in his graveyard? Okay, so we can get a Thorn Mammoth next turn. If we live next turn, that is. We will play the... I guess the Jadar. Lose another life, which is fine. We don't have any other blockers. And since Meathook is debuffed on here, it won't gain us any life. Get the 2/2, have 3 treasure tokens. Okay, so we're at not the best position, but we're at a position we can live in, or at least hope to live in. Exiles Vorinclex. Great. So he gets to put 2 creatures that he milled onto the battlefield. Gets a Solemn potentially and a Tireless Tracker, it looks like. or Keeper of the Fables, which is going out there. Keeper of Fables, Tireless Tracker is not a bad combo. And I think we will have enough for a Meat Hook for 6, right? No, only for 5. Okay, so we need another land. Is he just going to pop our Jadar? Because if so, we don't have much response to it at all. Okay, Gwenna boosts herself. Workshop, that's fine. Okay, so we can Meat Hook if he casts another spell, which it looks like he is. Okay, we get a Lotho trigger. We go down to 9 life, which is not good. But we do get Meat Hook next turn if we can live this turn. Which, the only thing that can swing in is the 3/3, which we will block with Lotho if he ends up doing that. He's just wasting his entire hand to get a bunch of creatures out there. But we're going to have a big reset. 6/4, because it has haste. Ooh, okay. So we're going to block that with the 1/1 and the 6/4 with a Lotho. So we're going to take 4, going down to 4, or 5 actually. Going down to 4. Draws a card, sacks it, because it was just like the rebirth effect. Creates a 4/4, draws a card. Okay, this is a lot going on. Let's see if he has anything else that would be of any value other than like the Thorn Mammoth. It doesn't look like it from what we can get. Okay, I think... We'll do Workshop War Chief so we can gain some life off of it. And then we will Meat Hook for... Oh, we can do 7. But does he have any 7s? Yes, he does. Perfect. That's what we're going to do. Doing it for 7. Pay for everything. And that gets rid of the entire board. Perfect. So that was a nice reset. And we also created a 4/4 because of the Workshop War Chief. So we're at a better thing. Grand Evolution does nothing, because it's just kind of a waste. But he does have quite a big hand. So he can play basically anything that he wants because of green. Beanstalk Giant searching for a land is kind of funny. He just wants it so we can play it again. Boosted with an 11/11 now. Great Henge boosted even more, so it's a 12/12. So next turn we're going to probably play the Solemn Simulacrum. Plays a Cultivate. Boosts the Beanstalk Giant even more. Has plenty of mana to play whatever he wants. But I think he's just kind of wanting to boost the Beanstalk. And we could Liliana, make him sack it. Shieldred. That's awesome. We will play the Arcane Signet into the Solemn Simulacrum, so we can have a blocker, and we can also work our way up to Shieldred, because it's OP. So I think we'll have enough mana next turn to play it. We're not going to swing in, because it's just going to die. Grand Evolution makes him able to fight whatever he wants, so that's basically it for us, because he can make Beanstalk Giant fight anything. Yep. And it will just allow him to get through whatever he wants. And since we only have 7 life, and he has plenty of mana to do so, that was pretty much it. If we had Shieldred out there, we probably could have made him sack the Beanstalk. Either way, though, he had a lot more advantage than we did. We get a draw card. Wow, it's like it's going to do so much. But we do lose some, and hopefully Game 5 will be a little bit better. And make him take another damage. We got him down to 20 with his amount of ramp, but that's okay. We lose some sometimes, and let's just hope Game 5 is going to go better. So, with that, on to Game 5. Game 5. Our hand is looking really good, actually. I'm going to keep it a Shia. So a bunch of ramp, Gilded Goose. Okay, so he has 2 mana, really. Swamp and Wayfarer's Bauble. So next turn we'll be taking at least 0 damage with the Gilded Goose coming in. Tireless Provisioner. Alright, that's awesome. Drew a Shire Terrace. We will Blood Artist here. Pass back to him. Only has 2 mana, 3 mana now. Gonna create the treasure. Yep. Scoot Swarm. That is a great Rite of Oblivion target. Because Scoot Swarm in a landfall deck is a no-go. Oh, we also have a Swords to Plowshare, so a perfect matchup for a perfect card. Scoot Swarm is gone. And we don't even have to worry about it because it's not destroyed. Either way, it would have been exiled. Not going to swing in. So if he has another land, he gets a Shia. which is nice. Roaring Earth. Landfall. Boost one of his creatures. He probably could have done the Gilded Goose, although it makes sense on why he didn't. Ram through. Only deals damage, it doesn't actually fight. We're going to get a couple of triggers with the Blood Artist and the Voldaren Bloodcaster. Too much blood. Gilded Goose makes a treasure token. Swings in with a 4-3. We're not going to block. We're going to go down to 19 life. Command Tower. How lovely. Rite of Oblivion. Tireless Provisioner. Sacking the blood token. Perfect. And Wayfarer's Bauble. Into a Plains. And we could swing in for 0, but it won't do much. Or anything at all. Ashaya. Makes sense. So it's a 4-4, it's actually a 6-6. Never mind, my bad. Sheoldred is a fantastic card to draw with enough mana to play it. We are going to Godless Shrine tapped. Rite of Oblivion can't because it's not a land. Vito, that is going to come out there. So both of his things are land. We could Roaring Earth to get rid of it. Unnatural Growth. Oh boy. 12-12. Yup. Block with the 0-1. Thank goodness it doesn't have Trample. Next turn, Sheoldred's gonna come out. No, perfect. No response. Sheoldred, hello, my pretty. Not gonna swing in. He's gonna sack the goose. Okay. Does he have anything of importance? No. Do we? Yes. We have the nice Voldaren Bloodcaster or the Blood Artist. Scale the Heights. It's gonna boost the Ashaya. Delighted Halfling. So there's his sack outlet, really. He's gonna boost the Ashaya even more. So it's a 16-16 now. We're gonna block with that. So we'll have a blocker every turn as long as Sheoldred remains. I could have kept the Vito in the graveyard as well. We're going to bring back the Blood Artist to get the annoying ping to go through. Rite of Oblivion, can't do anything again, I forgot. Cruel Celebrant into Witch's Oven. And then Rite of Oblivion, actually, we're going to do the Unnatural Growth, sacking the Witch's Oven. Okay, so we're out of one-shot game range. Sheoldred makes him sack the Delighted Halfling almost definitely. Yep, there it goes. We'll also be able to get the Voldaren Bloodcaster potentially next turn. And Defense of the Heart. What a wonderful card. How fair of a card that is. Such a fair card. Okay. So 3 or more creatures. Which is what's going to happen either way. Blood Artist, Swamp, Vito, or we could Shire Terrace. Although it won't do much. An upkeep will mean that he'll be able to get it anything that he wants. Anything at all. Swing in for 7. Let's bring him down to earth a little bit. Pass back to him. No Questing Beast, please. But he does sack the Ashaya. Okay. That's fine. But he gets Defense of the Heart. Takes a life. Okay, the Ashaya is out of the way. Out of the question. Defense of the Heart does trigger, which is an insane card. Gets anything. Any 2 creatures that he wants on the battlefield. That is such a green card. Vorinclex, I assumed that was going to be one of them. And that thing. 7/6 Beast. Behemoth, Trample. Both have Trample, which does make sense. Too bad we can't do, like, permanents. Unnatural Growth would have been nice, but it's exiled, so it doesn't matter. We can grab the Voldaren Bloodcaster. Wow. Such advantage. Waseju gets a couple forests in his hand. Okay. Bring back the Voldaren. Shambling Ghast. What a card. Shire Terrace sack. Get a Vito trigger. Draw a card. Well, don't draw. Just gain life. No swinging in. Make him sack one of them. Carnage Tyrant? Yeah, that makes sense. Make him lose a life. Boseiju. I wish we had double sack triggers. That would have been so fun. Foreign clicks is gonna hurt, though. It's gonna hurt a lot. Titania. Okay. We could... Actually... How much is that? That's 7? Perfect. Triple block. And we'll take 1. Well, 2. And we'll leave the Vito in the graveyard. Get a bunch of death triggers. Holy moly. Shambling Ghast. Minus the Vortex. So there that goes. Blood Artist, Cruel Celebrant a bunch, Shieldred into the Vito. Bring that bad boy back out there. And he scoops! That was a really, really close, yes, I did have fun in the match, a really, really close Game 5. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. Thank you.